Well, hello, it's another Wisdom Walks, hooray! I'm so happy to be here with all of you. I am on a bike ride today, so I hopped off my bike for a little stretch, and I gotta tell you, the smells out here, oh, straight up heaven. It is so delicious. I feel like every time I breathe, I'm getting downloads from nature, and I just want to invite all of you as we head into our discussion in Wisdom Walk today. I want to invite you to tune into some nature right now. There's so much medicine in it, and it's right here for all of us to enjoy. So today on Wisdom Walks, though, we're going to be talking about personal power. And I've talked about this on previous Wisdom Walks, but something happened to me recently, and I feel like this topic deserves another discussion. So that's what we're going to dive into today. Enjoy. Personal power. I want to dive into this topic today, even though we've spoke about it before. You might recall we've talked about soul level responsibility versus false responsibility, and it's important to know the difference between the two, because when we are doing things that are in false responsibility, we're disempowering ourselves, we're losing precious energy. And that's when we get overwhelmed and frustrated and all of the other things that come with false responsibility. Soul level responsibility is fulfilling. It feeds us, it fills us up. It allows us to hold more capacity. And as I lean into this idea of personal responsibility for myself in my own life, other layers are beginning to appear in terms of why it's so very important for us to really pay attention to our personal power. So right now, there is a power struggle. There are some people in power who want more power. And really, you guys, this is an age-old tale, isn't it? Hasn't this been since the beginning of time? There's been a power struggle. And the power struggle happens when people believe that happiness and heaven is outside of themselves. And so they get lost in this acquiring energy, more, and it's never enough. They're never satiated. And that greed starts to consume. And then attached to that greed is, of course, more need than to protect all that you have. And so there is a requirement for us, and I say requirement because we're being called right now to stand in our own personal power. When we are in true personal power, we actually have no need to control anything or anyone outside of ourselves. I'm going to say that again because I think it's really important. When we have a strong, healthy sense of personal power, we no longer have a need to control or have power over anything or anyone. And so part of this is our relationship with God. And so that's the first part of personal power. That relationship is your superpower. It is all of the things that you need and then some. And so building that relationship takes us from needing to control what is outside of us, situations, people, outcomes, right? And it allows us to accept lovingly whatever it is that is being revealed to us, whatever the experience might be. And in doing so, we actually receive the value of that beautiful, beautiful experience. There's another piece, of course, though, to personal power. And I want to share a story that happened recently. Some of you might know I had a property for sale, a recreational property. It was a sanctuary for me. I held retreats out there, and it just became too much work. There was too many other projects and things, and I'm really working on simplifying my life. It's one of the empowered choices I've been making for myself. And so I decided to let that property go and to sell it. And I listed it last year. We almost had a buyer and it fell through. And we had a lot of feedback on the property. A lot of realtors were saying, you're overcharging, nobody's gonna pay this. And we kept hearing this. And we decided to take it off the market last year. We thought we'll try again next year. We weren't in a hurry, thankfully. And so we listed this year, and you guys are not gonna believe what happened. There was a part of me that had surrendered to all of these naysayers saying, you'll never get what you want for it, blah, blah, blah. It's not worth that, it's not worth that. But I poured so much love into this space, guys. And so did Dan, my partner in it. We put so much energy into that space. It is a sanctuary, and I knew that it would summon the right people. And so, with some patience and some trust and an empowered choice to stick to my guns about what I believed that property was worth, not only did we get what we asked for, but we had a bidding war and we sold it for more than list, 10K over list price. We could have also sold it for 25K over list price. However, I was using my intuition and we sold it to a family with 2 little kids. I knew that property needed some little ones on it, so I took $15,000 less for the right family. And it felt so good making that decision. It felt aligned. And the lesson that I learned in this story is that all these naysayers, all these realtors saying, you'll never get that, you'll never get that. And I got 10,000 more than that. Come on. This is such a testament to us staying in our empowered path and making a conscious choice to do so. I could have gone down in price, and I considered it. I was actually thinking of doing it last week. I even emailed the realtor and I said, do you think we should lower it? She goes, well, it's up to you. And I thought, well, I'm gonna sit with it just a little bit longer. I wanna give it a couple more weeks. Man, it's easy to question ourselves when everyone around you is saying it's not possible. But it is possible. Anything is possible. And you have a choice. So this is the second part. The first part was build that relationship with God, with divine, with creator. The second is empowered choice. And so really inviting you to make choices that feel aligned for you. And don't let anybody shake that. The people that are most successful in the world are the ones that are unshakable, the ones that do not allow those naysayers and those people who haven't realized their own potential yet to put you in a position in which you don't realize your potential. Make an empowered choice. Make a soul-aligned choice. Fill the soul bank. Fill the soul bank. The money bank will fill. The health bank will fill when you fill your soul bank. And you get to choose that. Nobody else chooses that for you. You get to choose that for yourself. So that's the second piece, is empowered choice. And knowing you are able to choose. The last piece around personal responsibility and personal power comes back to the story of the farmer and the horse. Now, I used to share this story all the time, but it's been a while. So allow me to share it with you. There's a farmer and he has this prize stallion, and one day his stallion goes missing. And everyone looks for the stallion. Everyone's searching for it. The neighborhood is out looking for the stallion. They can't find the stallion anywhere. And so the neighbors go to the farmer and they say, oh, this is the worst news ever. Whatever will you do without your prize stallion? And the farmer shrugs and says, who knows what's good or bad? We'll have to wait and see. And so the next day comes along, and sure enough, his horse comes back, but with a herd of horses. So now he has a stallion and a dozen new horses, and the neighbors go to the farmer and they say, oh, rejoice, what a wonderful occasion, celebrate, celebrate. And he says, who knows what's good or bad, we'll have to wait and see. The next day comes along and the farmer's son is out training the horses, and he gets bucked off, breaks a leg. And the neighbors go to the farmer and they say, oh, worst news ever, what will you ever do without the help of your son who's got this broken leg? Farmer shrugs, who knows what's good or bad, we'll have to wait and see. And the next day comes along and the army comes to town, and they're there to pick up all the fit men to take to war. They can't take the son, he's got a broken leg. So you could see how this story could go on forever and ever. The point is that we get so disempowered when we start to get caught up in these stories. We get so disempowered when we allow ourselves to suffer in what isn't what we wanted it to be. Because what happens when we suffer because there's a discrepancy between what we think should be and what actually is. So whatever pain that we're experiencing, it's often that discrepancy, right? If I have a stomach ache and I think I shouldn't have a stomach ache and I should feel fine, I'm going to suffer a bit more in that experience, will I not? And so the invitation for us is that we don't get caught up into what we think the story should be, but rather we lovingly accept the story and consciously choose to change the narrative through our relationship with divine. And so who knows what's good or bad, we'll have to wait and see. And it doesn't mean don't celebrate those wins. Please do. Please do. I'm all about celebrating. But it's about not getting hooked into the negativity. Because how many times has something happened to you where you're like, oh my God, this is so bad, this is so bad, and it turned out to be the best thing ever? This is tied to continual expectancy. And I talk about this all the time. But it's because I'm trying to harness it. I'm trying to embody it. Continual expectancy does not mean I expect a particular outcome, but rather it means I expect that whatever that does happen is exactly what is needed for my highest good. And sometimes that's hard to accept, because if I've got an injury, if something bad happens to me, in that moment, it definitely feels bad, right? There's a pain that comes with that, but then we can move through holding the space, saying, yeah, it makes sense that I would be upset about that, but it's also okay for me to move forward and let that go, and to make a conscious choice, understanding that that happened for whatever the reason is. And we don't always get to see what the real reason is, You get delayed somewhere. It's like, how do you know that you wouldn't have gotten in an accident if you wouldn't have had the delay? There's a lot of what ifs there, but it's an invitation to recognize that the empowered perspective is that it's all working out for me. And in that acceptance, we become more empowered. It's kind of like anything that happens in life, I'm saying yes, thank you to. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. And in that receiving, we actually open up to even more abundance and manifestation, hence the sale of the property for over list price. So you see the ripple effect. Divine relationship with God, making conscious choices, choosing possibility, and then allowing ourselves to come into that space of continual expectancy, of really recognizing that it's all there to serve us. And so that is personal power. And it brings a great deal of joy and peace. So I hope that something landed for you today. I hope it reminded you of something today, and you can take that value with you. As a final note here, I want to just extend an invitation. We are doing Ignite Your Heaven retreat this summer, July 18th and 19th. We're doing something special on the Saturday night too. We're doing a fire walk. So you can attend the whole weekend, or you can just come to the fire walk if you wish to. It's going to be just outside of Sherwood Park on beautiful lands that I actually do sweat lodges out at. And I absolutely love the sacred space. So it's going to be pure magic. We are going to do a fire walk. We're also going to do a water ceremony. with Crystal Sound Bath. And of course, I'm bringing in amazing facilitators who are going to move you through some heavenly experiences. It's going to be absolutely magical. So I hope that you want to come enjoy some heaven with me. And I hope you find that piece of heaven for yourself over the course of this next month. And hopefully I'll see you in July at the retreat. Details will be in the comment section. Bye for now.